In 2018, while visiting Iceland, I went to a hot spring for the first time. This is the face of a person who just fell in love with sitting in hot, fart-scented nature water. So when I got back to Alaska, I knew I wanted more. 4 years later, it's happening. Let me take you to Tolovana Hot Springs, the most remote hot spring in central Alaska. I'm Kyle, this is Caleb, and this is a 1987 Ski-Doo named Bessie, and the three of us are going there. We need to drive over 8 hours, but we're taking a detour to Castner Glacier, so make it over 9.5 hours. Then, once we're at the trailhead, we get to ride Bessie 10 miles into the backcountry in the blistering cold. I think this old blog post I found describes the journey best. Whomever came up with the saying, "It's about the journey, not the destination," obviously has never been to Tolovana. In the summertime, the trail is boggy and infested with mosquitoes. And in the wintertime, it's freezing cold and windy. So, take your pick. Personally, I hate mosquitoes, so winter it is. Let's go. Thank you. Whoa.
Got old Bessie here.
Close your eyes.
Runs
Give
like
her a
a
little tap and tap.
Call it this heavy load got under your skin. All in, you got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside. Heading for collision and then now to really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, around.
After lots of driving, we stayed in a small cabin in Fairbanks for the night, so that we could ride into Tolovana in the daytime. In the morning, we woke up early to drive 2 more hours to the trailhead.
Oh, that is 2 big bowls. There's another one up there. I think these things are running like 30 miles an hour.
We are at the trailhead for Tolovana, and it's really cold. I think it's like, what is it, like -8, -10, something like that, but it's kind of windy.
Oh yeah.
And when it's that cold and it's windy, it's like, it's torture. But it's so pretty here.
We unloaded Bessie and packed up all our stuff, like complete geniuses. And by geniuses, I mean that we're idiots. And this was a complete disaster. I mean, our eggs are literally just sitting there, and everything is out in the open, ready to fall out. And fall right out they did. Including me, who fell right into a tree and hurt my leg.
Oh, ow. Ow.
This is where we decided to try something different, or I guess that's what we would have done if we were smart. So we kept on being dumb. I crashed again, and I ended up picking up Costco muffins off the trail before we decided to actually do something different. Kayla went back to the truck and got a tarp and some straps, and the rest of the trip went much better, but it was still freezing cold. It took over 4 hours, and we flipped Bessie into the ditch a few times. We eventually made it to our cabin, 12 by 12 feet, for the next 2 nights in the middle of nowhere with no one else around. The first night we went and sat in the second pool for a little bit, and it was really windy, and we were tired. So we retired for the night in our little cabin under the Aurora. Okay, Let's give a complete tour of all the springs, starting from the top. This is pool number 3. It's a plastic tub closest to the water source. The hot water flows out of the side of the hill and is fed through pipes to each of the pools. This pool has the best view with the least trees in the way, and it has a warm and a hot pipe that you can take in and out to control the temperature. The next pool is number 2. This is a wooden tub located across a beautiful footbridge. This one is tucked back in the woods, so the aurora viewing isn't as good, but the daytime view is spectacular. This tub also has a warm and a hot pipe for controlling the temp.
This one just looks so cool. With the bridge and everything, like, gosh dang, dude.
Last but not least is tub number 1. It's another plastic tub, but it's also more secluded in the woods, and it has a nice view of the stream flowing below. The temperature in this one is controlled by a pipe with a valve that can adjust how much hot water is coming through.
Okay, so this is the uppermost pool. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go get in. It's like negative, what was it, negative 12?
Yeah.
It's very cold. Not as cold as it could be, but it's very cold. So I'm gonna go get in. It's so nice here. The sun is rising still. I don't know what time it is. It's in the afternoon sometime when the sun is still rising. And it's beautiful out here. It's very cold. It's been a while since I lived in such a cold place. I forgot how much cameras don't like to work in the cold. So if the image looks like just doo-doo, that's why. My lens is frosted over. I just spent like 3 minutes trying to wipe the ice off my lens.
All right, going in the tub. Still a little bit hot. Add some more snow. Whew. Get some snow buildup here. I had that pipe going to it first, which was really, really hot. And we put this one, which is about perfect temp. I'm gonna lay down. Okay. In a bathtub in the middle of nowhere. Perfect.
So at this point we are waiting for it to get dark and for the aurora to come out. This is our last night here, so I am going to kind of pack up and collect my things so that I don't have to do it in the morning. Yeah, see you in a minute up at the springs. Bye. I'm going to do a brief explanation of the aurora because I've viewed it hundreds of times, but most people don't really understand it at all. There are two main things that are absolutely non-negotiable for viewing it. Number one, it must be dark. This means you can't view it in the summer because it doesn't get dark. And you can't really view it from under city lights either because it's not dark enough. Number 2 is that it cannot be cloudy. You might think these ground rules are obvious, but I've had tourists ask me about seeing it on a cloudy day in July when the sun barely goes down for a couple hours. Some other things that help are the right latitude, not being too far north and not being too far south. Most places in Alaska will do, but Fairbanks area is pretty much ideal. Last but not least is a good aurora forecast. It's rated from 1 to 9, and in my experience, the forecast is not a guarantee of viewing. I've seen it really good at 3, and I've seen it not come out at all when it was rated at 8. If you want a scientific explanation of how it works, I'll put a link below. I'm not the best at explaining that.
We are walking to the springs. It is midnight right now. It's very cold. It's also kind of creepy.
Just a little.
Just a little. There's nobody else out here. It's just us. We are the only souls on the property.
Cameras don't work very well in high moisture, negative 20 degree weather, so it didn't come out as well as I'd like, but it is what it is.
It's been an interesting, fun trip. Thanks you guys for coming along. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and if you want to support me directly, you can support me through Patreon so I can go on more interesting and cool trips like this and bring them to you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.